Okay, and hello, welcome. It is Tuesday, April 14th. My name is Amanda Domnitz, and I am here with my adorable, sweet, wonderful friend, Laura Penn Gallerstein. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Welcome. I am doing great. Really good. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. This is Crystal Bowl Club, and sometimes we don't play crystal bowls. Sometimes in Crystal Bowl Club, we just talk about crystal bowls because it's so wonderful. We can't help ourselves. I did bring a wand. Unite. Beginning of our meetings every Tuesday. Hold on.
We're ready.
Well, thank you so much for being here with me today. The reason why I asked you to come on is not only are you an amazing alchemy bowl player, but you've actually started something quite amazing in Sedona for yourself. Would you mind talking a little bit about your journey in Sedona with the bowls and what you're doing now?
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, Amanda. Well, it actually started when my husband retired and we got a little RV and we started traveling on the road. And we traveled all around the whole entire country. We saw 40 some national parks, and every city or state I went into, I found a yoga studio. And I would say, I have these bowls, and would you be interested in me playing at the end of Shavasana? And everybody was so delightful and beautiful and just like, yes, welcoming. It was really, they were really wonderful. And I kept going back to Sedona. We went here several times, and I landed at this studio called Awakenings Yoga Studio. I fell in love with the owner, and I would play my bowls every time I was in town. And we probably traveled back and forth to Sedona probably 3 or 4 times during a whole 2.5-year journey. And so when I landed in Sedona, when we actually stayed here, I put together a class, like a sound healing class, and I started doing that once a week at the studio. And I would play my bowls at the end of every yoga class that I was either teaching or taking. And this lasted for a few years. And then the owner of the studio fell in love with the bowls, and she said, Laura, I'd love to do something with you. And it turned out we became partners. And when we became partners, she is like a little go ahead machine, like just a million ideas. And I didn't have as much confidence as she had in me. And she said, let's put together a curriculum. So we put together a level 1, a level 2 sound healing, literally sound healing training. And they would last 4 days. We worked together for over a year. And we always weaved in very deep mystical teachings from Native Americans, from the Galactics, from the Pleiadians, from Atlantis and Lemuria. So it wasn't just a sound healing course. We always tried to weave in deep wisdom. And the most important wisdom we brought in was the shift of the ages that we're going through right now. And Edgar Cayce said back in I think it was the 30s, he said that sound would be the next major type of alternative medicine on the planet when we go through this shift of the ages. And I was like obsessed with this shift of the ages, the age of Aquarius. I was obsessed because I took a whole Kundalini training, and then I just listened to so many different people. And I'm like, we are going through this shift, and we need support in every facet of our life to be able to move forward. And the reason I loved Kundalini was because, number one, it was rhythm. So you got your body in a rhythmic motion and mantra. And I loved how it calmed down your nervous system. And then I was like, well, we can do the same with the bowls. When you play the crystal bowls, they calm down your nervous system. They literally bring you into the parasympathetic nervous system, the part of you that's the rest, relax, digest part of your system. So, and then when I started chanting with the bowls, I was like, this is incredible. And the bowls literally asked me to start chanting. And it became this friendship between myself and this whole crystalline collection. And I truly think these are tools for the new age. We cannot stay the same. We cannot, the old paradigm is falling apart in front of our eyes. And so we have to shift forward. We have to evolve as a human species, and we need tools. Maybe in 50 years, we won't need these tools, but right now, they're an amazing godsend help for us to help not only shift ourselves, but to help shift all the people around us. So Amanda was asking me what I'm doing now. Well, I'm not sure yet. I'm writing a book. No, I'm writing a book on my spiritual journey. And at the end, I have all these guided meditations that I've been doing for probably 20, 30 years. And then I'm making a CD with a lot of these guided meditations and the bowls. And so that's my big project I'm working on right now. Thank you.
Wow, congratulations. That's fantastic. You know, it's interesting. You said so many things. You covered like a lot of my questions in your first. You had But you talked about using your voice with the bowls. You talked about Dr. Gaynor. You talked about spirituality and wisdom and about the shifting of the ages and what sound healing really is for. And you covered all of those things. So thank you for being so amazing. Well, so would you mind, do you have a favorite experience with the alchemy bowls that you'd like to share with us?
I guess my favorite experience, and this has happened many times throughout the years, because I've been doing this for over 8 years now, and I'm going to brag on you because some of my first set of bowls were from you, my dear, and I still have them. The grandfather, the grandmother, and the sage forest. I know, isn't that crazy? I love them. They're like they're with me. They're my family. So anyway, I guess my favorite experience, I've had so many, but it's really the reactions of the people. And I've had people tell me, "Oh my gosh, I've had the best night's sleep ever." I've had one woman said to me her feet were hurting, and at the end of a session, literally the pain was gone. One woman I just heard recently had migraines, and she listened to the video over and over a couple times, and her migraines went away like that. So not only does it bring peace to me, and I'm sure you feel the same way, it brings so much peace to me. And using the voice, like that was the miracle of all miracles when I started chanting with the bowls. And I could tell you a little more about that if you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. This is one of my favorite stories. I was teaching down at Rancho La Puerta, and I'd been a
Oh, down
teacher
in
there.
Mexico, right?
Down in Mexico. It's a world-renowned health spa. It's about 80 years old now. And I actually went there to leave my first marriage. And long story short, I was just teaching fitness when I got there and dance. And see, again, it's always about rhythm, and the bowls bring in that rhythm and that beauty and that connection. So I was teaching there I got married, had a baby, and just kept going back there and teaching Pilates. And one day, my yoga teacher, Mitchel Gaynor and Mayrad, who I love and adore, and I met them from Rancho La Puerta, and they had studied with the Baptiste family. And I don't know if you, Baron Baptiste, well, they studied with them. I got to study with Walt and Magana, which was a blessing. Anyway, Mitchel and Mayrad brought an ashram down to Rancho La Puerta, and I happened to be there teaching that week. There was a woman named Ragini, and she was playing her harmonium and leading kirtan for all of us. She said, "This is the back door to enlightenment." And I started crying crying, 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 because I had had a lot of depression in my life. And when I started chanting, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like the back door to enlightenment. This is amazing. So it took, and somebody said to me, you're going to be chanting one day. And I'm like, no, 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 but I like it. But anyway, so when I started playing the bowls, it was like they wanted me to chant with them. You could feel that they wanted me to. So I just started oming, and it brought so much peace to me. I was floored. And then I actually was like, I got to do more chanting. So the bowls led to chanting, and then the chanting led to me doing kirtan now. So
Wow.
it's like the craziest thing when you allow yourself to surrender to their wisdom.
Mhm. I agree with you. You know, I had a similar introduction because I'd sung with my bowls, and I've been teaching workshops with bowls for 10 years. And, you know, we would ohm with them in group, and that was wonderful. With my big 18-inch frosted bowl was the one that I did most of those toning and chanting with the bowls with for other people. But it wasn't until I took the kirtan training that we had in December with Sean Johnson and the Wild Lotus Band that I actually got to play the harmonium. And we have for in the temple, we have a 16-inch grandmother super grade, perfect pitch A. And I found an A raga for the afternoon in the key of A, and I just played the scales with the harmonium on one hand and then playing that big 16-inch with the other and singing, and it was transcendent. It was a life changer. I felt it in my soul. I felt it in my higher nature. I felt it in the earth. It was so incredible. It changed my whole view on how I view sound healing and how I do my sound healings now. To me, the harmonium and the bowls are a perfect marriage, a perfect harmony. Oh, I can't hear you now. What happened? We could hear you. Sometimes if somebody texts in or you get a little thing, it'll pop your microphone. So you might have to pop out and then pop back in. We'll wait. We love you. Okay. So we're just waiting for Laura to pop back on. She's so interesting to me. I had this idea many years ago to become like a gypsy and travel around with the bulls. And I talked to Laura about it, and I ended up having a baby, so that wasn't going to happen for me. And she did it. And they got an RV, and she traveled around the country and just would call up yoga studios and say, hey, I'm a sound healer. I can play for Shavasana. That is exactly how I got started with sound healing as well. I bought my first bowls, and then I found a yoga studio down the street. And then I just asked them if they wanted me to play. I was just telling them how amazing you are and how easy it is to get started in sound healing. Let's see if we can hear you. No. Did you go all the way out? Yeah, because sometimes you have to log all the way out. Okay. She's going to grab her earphones. We will wait for Laura. Absolutely. She's really inspired me. I think more in like my femininity. Laura's inspired me in my playing. She has this beautiful divine feminine energy that is so fun to be around and to watch. And especially when you see her bowls, they're just gorgeous. I'm hoping that her headphones will work now so we can talk to her. Let's see. Oh. Yeah. If you try logging out all the way, she might be able to come back in. So let's see. Yes, I highly encourage you if you are interested in sound healing and you're like, I don't know how to get my work out there. Of course, right now we're in quarantine, but this is gonna end. I bet you we have like maybe a month and a half left. So start thinking about maybe you want to take your sound healing out into the world, into the community. And let's see if she's back. Hi, can you hear us? No. Oh, I'm so sad it's not working. Yeah, no, not working. Let's see. Yes. Well, the other thing I was going to have her talk about, which hopefully we'll still be able to get her to come in, is um, where she sees sound healing in the big picture. I think that we are seeing an unprecedented change in consciousness, in how we live our day-to-day life. And like Laura was talking about, these tools, all the tools, not just the crystal bowls, the metal bowls, the gong, the didgeridoo, the harp, the, you know, my wand hitting my phone, that's a rhythm. We have percussion in our body that we can use. So sound is a modality and a tool that we can use for our own well-being. And I think that's really just the whole point of why I wanted to have Laura on today. I'm sorry that she's not here for the full time, but it was such a blessing to have her. Again, my name is Amanda Domnitz. We're here from Sacred Sound of the Soul of Yoga Sound Institute. This is Crystal Bowl Club, and we're here every Tuesday at 11. Let's see, this afternoon at 4 o'clock, we have another class, and we're streaming 1 to 2 classes a day right now for free on our live and free sound healing classes. So if you're not there already, you're going to want to go over to the live and free sound healing classes on our Facebook group, and you just hit join, and we'll have you come in, and we'd love to have you. It's a lot of fun. All right, guys. Thanks again so much for coming in. It's just been a pleasure. Until next time.